Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles are your Super Bowl champs. Hurts accounted for nearly 300 total yards plus 3 touchdowns, was voted Super Bowl MVP. After the game, he said, "It has been a fun ride. I've embraced every step. I took great pride in never backing down from a challenge, always turning my negatives into positives, turning my weaknesses and making them into strengths. It's taken a great effort to evolve my game over time and just continue to grow and improve." And you take a look at this list. Active quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. There's only 6 of them on that list. So one would think Jalen Hurts would be in the conversation for, I don't know, one of the top quarterbacks in the league, maybe? Well, let's welcome in Danny Kanell now. He's going to have this discussion with us. So you watch Jalen Hurts in this game. He's so poised. He's so confident. He's so chill. And when you look at him in the hierarchy of the quarterbacks that are in the league right now, you would say maybe he's in the top 5?
He's really good. He's really good. I would maybe say just outside the top 5, maybe just a little bit just outside.
Okay.
These are the elite of the elite when you look at quarterbacks who can win in a myriad of ways, right? If you take away the run game, they can put the team on their back. A lot of these guys can also beat you with their legs. That's becoming a prerequisite. But these guys are the total package, including a young rookie in Jaden Daniels, who I thought had one. Everyone thinks that he had one of the best rookie seasons we've seen in the history of the NFL.
Of course, getting those Rookie of the Year honors on the offensive side. All right, so he's not in the top 5 for you. So, you know, Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
You got to say he's in the top 10, right?
Let's have a look. Let's see where we are here. So Baker Mayfield had 40+ touchdowns. Jared Goff is insane. Matthew Stafford's also got a Super Bowl MVP. Aaron Rodgers has 4 MVPs and a Super Bowl MVP. And then Justin Herbert is insanely talented. So I would say all these guys, and I don't think I'm too far out on a limb on this one, where if you had NFL GMs and you asked them, who do you want to build your roster around, which quarterbacks would you take? I think all of these guys would get taken ahead of Jalen Hurts.
Okay, so then we have to go 11 through 15. If he's not in this,
all right, now we're in the sweet spot. All right, there he is.
Oh, thank goodness.
I actually wanted him right around Brock Purdy because I think he and Brock Purdy are very, very similar quarterbacks in what they do. They have great talent around them, and they do a great job executing what the team wants them to do. They're both, you know, and when he was on the 49ers, things are good. Christian McCaffrey's healthy, one of the best backs in the league. That's when you saw Brock Purdy shine. When you had Saquon Barkley, that's when Jalen Hurts looked like he was at his best. It's been a little bit up and down. It's been a little bit bumpy. When everything around him is great, he is one of the best. But consistency on a daily basis, day in, day out, who would you build around no matter what your supporting cast looks like? I think he needs a better team to win those Super Bowls, which describes a lot of these quarterbacks in this vicinity.
All right, we're going to welcome in Damien Harris, a guy who knows Jalen Hurts very well. And Damien, I want to get your take on what Danny just said. Would you have Jalen in the top 10?
I wish you guys could have seen my reaction when Danny was going through his
Yeah, I think I heard it too.
Yeah.
I'm used to that.
I might have been hot mic in there a little bit, but you absolutely have to put a guy that just won the Super Bowl, just dethroned the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, quest for a three-peat, like a guy that just won Super Bowl MVP. You have to put him in the top 10. Listen, I understand that he has a load of talent around him. You look at A.J. Brown, you look at Devontae Smith, you look at guys like Saquon Barkley, the offensive line, the defense is great. When you watched the Super Bowl last night, obviously the defense took care of their job. Jalen Hurts made the plays that needed to be made. He drove them to victory. Saquon did not have his best performance. You know, Smitty had 1 big touchdown catch. A.J. Brown had, you know, a deep ball, another touchdown catch. But these weren't superstar performances from his, you know, counterparts, his superstars that are around him. So I just saw the way that Jalen led his team. He does it with his arm. He's one of the best deep ball throwers in all of the NFL. He's becoming a more efficient runner. He's knowing how to run more smart and how to take care of himself, stop taking those big hits, keep himself on the field, keep himself from getting injured. I mean, he is an absolute leader of this Eagles team, and just hearing Danny Kanell's comments, it just made me shake my head. I mean, this is a top 10 quarterback in this league right now.
I mean,
I feel like
maybe like at 10, we can like sneak him in there if we really wanted to, but like not much higher than that. Like I get the Justin Herbert thing because Justin Herbert doesn't have the playoff success and he's been a little bit more of a stat pattern, so I can maybe hear that argument. But there are some really good quarterbacks at the top end of that list where it's like, all right, I would not take him over some of those young talented guys.
All right. When you think about his story in general, after the game he came out, he said, I'm that same kid that went to the national championship and lost and went back and got benched and had to transfer. That kid always kept the main thing, and always wanted to be true of a vision of who he was. And that's exactly what we saw there. So, Damien, I got to ask you, when you think about the story from start to finish, is this one of the best redemption stories that we've seen in sports?
I absolutely think it is. I don't think that we've ever seen a story quite like this in sports before. I mean, whenever we were in college, whenever, I first got in the league and I was watching the success that he had transferring from Alabama to Oklahoma, I'm thinking they gotta make a movie about this guy. And I'm gonna take you step by step. Not only did he come in as a true freshman, he won SEC Player of the Year, SEC Freshman of the Year, led us to a national championship. Again, we lost. Then in his second year, took us to the national championship, got benched, and we ended up winning with Tua Tagovailoa. His third year, he comes back and plays the backup role. And what does he do? Comes in the Iron Bowl, first play touchdown. Then comes into the SEC championship when we played Georgia and secured the game-winning touchdown to help us secure another victory and another championship. Then he goes to Oklahoma, becomes a Heisman Trophy finalist. Then he gets drafted. And mind you, there were reporters, there were people in league offices that thought that he should change his position, that thought that he was going to come in and play running back, maybe play tight end, do something else but play quarterback. And now he's a Super Bowl champion, even after losing one Super Bowl to Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs, getting himself back there and then winning a Super Bowl and dethroning the Patrick Mahomes that we were all starting to wonder. Is he going to eclipse Tom Brady as the GOAT already? No. Hold on just a second, because Jalen Hurts has stayed the course. He has stayed true to himself. He stayed true to the process, all the values, principles that he has learned from his father, who was his coach primarily until he got to college, from Nick Saban, and the list goes on and on. I mean, this is redemption at the highest level. Jalen Hurts has seen the lowest of lows. Jalen Hurts has still been true to what he is and what he is as a football player, as a man, and how he can help a team. And now he's experienced some of the greatest highs as well. And you really can't write a story. You can't script a story better than what Jalen Hurts has put in front of us.
I totally agree with everything he said. I use Jalen Hurts as an opportunity to teach my kids about what perseverance looks like, about what dealing with adversity looks like. If I'm a coach and I'm coaching youth football, I'm sharing them the story of Jalen Hurts, sharing with them what he did when he was faced with adversity. A lot of players, especially today's players, would have packed it up, would have gone home, would have transferred. Again, listen to what Damien said. He stayed a whole nother year after he was benched and was a great teammate and supported Tua and did what it took, got his degree, stayed there, then made the most of an opportunity, went to Oklahoma, then honed his craft at the next level. It is an incredible story, and I wish there were more players that had his mindset, because he has maximized his potential, his talent, which maybe isn't the elite of the elite, into Super Bowl champion, a Super Bowl MVP, which is a phenomenal story. Absolutely love the story of Jalen Hurts.
Maximizing his talent, but still in your not in your top 10. So what does he need to do in order to get into those good graces that you have there?
Oh, I mean, if he keeps winning them, he'll absolutely play his way into this. But he's still going to have Saquon Barkley next year to hand it off to. But that's part of it. He's making the most. They don't ask him to throw for 40-plus touchdowns. He does exactly what they want to do. And most importantly, what he brings to the Eagles is the intangible of a coach's mindset that holds his teammates accountable, that works hard every single day, that keeps the main thing the main thing. There would be a tendency to have a letdown after a Super Bowl trophy. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to let anybody in that locker room let down, because he said he's counting championships. He doesn't care about guys like me that are sitting up there, is he top 10? He'll just keep adding those trophies. And if he does, then he'll play his way into the conversation, not only the top 10 active quarterbacks, but maybe the top 10 quarterbacks of all time.
That's what I like to hear.
See that?
Damien?
And even to Danny's point, when they asked him what it felt like winning a Super Bowl, he said it should have been 2. That just fully explains what his mindset is and how he always keeps the main thing the main thing. Again, he's not worried about what I'm saying. He's not worried about Danny's saying. He's not worried about how people rank him. All he cares about is winning, and he has done that at every single level: high school, college, now the NFL. Again, he's already a top 10 quarterback in my eyes, and he's only going to go up from here, because I know Jalen, we were roommates in college. He is going to keep that same mindset until he's done playing. He could win 5 Super Bowls, and he's going to say, well, it should have been 6, or I should have won more, or I could have done this to help my team better better in this situation, because again, the main thing is the main thing for Jalen Hurts, and that's about winning. That's about being a leader and doing everything that he can to be the best football player that he can be, and that whatever team he's a part of, which obviously is the Philadelphia Eagles right now, being the best, helping them be the best team that they can be.
I mean, I didn't know he had to live with Damien Harris. That's like
That
another obstacle. Yeah, that might put him in top 3. Like, having to deal with that distraction.
He's a tough one over here. I don't know. Well, I'm looking forward to when there's a documentary made on Jalen Hurts' life and Damien's a star of it. That's right. Let me tell you about those stories when I'm a roommate. I bet there's some good ones.